From October 9th to November 2nd, 2025, Venus will transit through Virgo, its sign of debilitation. This period marks a significant shift in the astrological energy, especially as Venus, planet of love, beauty, harmony, and desire, enters a sign known for its critical, analytical, and perfection-oriented nature. It's important to highlight that these interpretations are based on Sidereal or Vedic Astrology, which considers a roughly 24-degree variance from the tropical zodiac. When the planet of affection and romance moves into the sign of realism and discernment, matters of the heart, relationships, and creative expression may undergo testing and refinement. It's a phase that encourages humility in love, practicality in finances, and groundedness in desires. As Venus reaches its lowest dignity in Virgo, its natural grace and charm become subdued, calling for greater awareness in how we handle emotions, expectations, and interpersonal dynamics. This debilitation is especially impactful because Venus represents relationships, beauty, creativity, and wealth, areas where Virgo's discriminating energy can create internal conflict. Virgo, being the sixth sign of the zodiac, is associated with service, healing, precision, and improvement. It symbolizes an archetype of healing and nurturing through detail and care. Yet, the same perfectionist tendencies of Virgo can make Venus uncomfortable, as Venus seeks harmony, indulgence, and unconditional love, whereas Virgo tends to find flaws, analyze, and correct. This clash often manifests as dissatisfaction in relationships, self-criticism about one's appearance or creative output, and heightened demands for perfection from partners or oneself. The debilitation of Venus in Virgo is rooted in symbolism. Venus is love, and Virgo is conflict. When affection meets analysis, the warmth of emotion can be dissected by logic. During this transit, people may feel more critical in relationships, noticing imperfections more than virtues. Romantic bonds may undergo a phase of testing, where unrealistic expectations or unresolved issues resurface. Emotional vulnerability may feel uncomfortable, leading some to withdraw or seek solitude to analyze their desires. The key lesson of Venus in Virgo is learning that love is not about perfection, but acceptance. For those willing to introspect, this period can help refine emotional intelligence, communication, and the ability to serve others in love rather than demand idealism. This Venus transit occurs amid several important astrological developments. Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, is transiting Libra during much of this period, creating a pair of Artana Yoga, sign exchange, with Venus. This exchange provides a balancing influence, softening the debilitation effects by bringing mutual cooperation between intellect, Mercury, and affection, Venus. It encourages diplomatic communication and analytical harmony in relationships, helping resolve misunderstandings through logic and grace. Meanwhile, the Sun is also in Virgo until October 17th, conjoining Venus. The Sun-Venus conjunction adds complexity. Sun represents ego, while Venus represents love. Their union often brings ego clashes or power struggles in partnerships. Relationships might face moments of friction due to pride, but on the creative plane, this aspect can spark inspiration and artistic brilliance, especially when expressed through humility. By mid-October, the astrological scene shifts again as the Sun enters Libra, its debilitation sign, joining Mercury and Mars. This combination introduces themes of balancing assertiveness with grace and diplomacy with realism. Venus, still debilitated, reflects a collective tendency to evaluate relationships with a rational, sometimes overly critical lens. The coming weeks may feel emotionally demanding, as people reassess their partnerships, financial priorities, and self-worth. With Jupiter entering Cancer, its sign of exaltation, on October 18th, divine wisdom, emotional growth, and nurturing energy begin to uplift the collective mood. Jupiter's strength offers spiritual perspective, encouraging forgiveness and compassion, essential qualities for navigating Venus's humbling transit. Virgo's energy also relates to healing and service, and Venus's presence here often redirects love and beauty towards self-improvement and helping others. While personal relationships may feel strained, professional or service-oriented work, especially in healthcare, counseling, legal, or financial fields, can flourish. This is an excellent time to refine creative projects, learn skills that require detail and precision, or engage in activities that blend art with service. Spiritually, this transit teaches detachment from superficial desires and guides us toward unconditional love, humility, and devotion. During its journey through Virgo, Venus asks us to reevaluate what and whom we truly value. It may not be a time of grand romance or indulgence, but rather one of clarity, healing, and realistic expectations. Relationships formed or tested now may evolve with greater honesty and mutual respect. Financially, this is a time to manage resources prudently, avoid impulsive spending, and focus on organization and budgeting. Venus represents love and activities that bring joy. As Venus transits through different houses for approximately 25 days, it signifies an increased inclination towards activities associated with that specific house. The final outcomes may vary based on the dignity of Venus in the birth chart, but the common thread is an affinity towards engagements related to the house Venus is currently transiting. Venus primarily influences the Moon and Mercury and is relatively susceptible to the influence of malefic planets such as the Sun, Mars, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. To accurately assess the impact of these transits, it is crucial to consider your ascendant and moon signs. The ascendant sign offers insights into the timing of life events, while the moon sign reveals how you will emotionally respond to these changes. Take into account the position of your current Mahadasha Lord in your birth chart, as it can shed light on how these transits will influence the recurring themes of your current Dasha period. This transit may manifest differently for each individual, and how they navigate this transit will depend on their personal charts. A more precise understanding of the impact of this transit can be gained by examining Venus's Ashtakavarga score in Virgo. Keep in mind that the effects of this transit are contingent on Venus's interaction with the planets in individual birth charts. It's also worth noting that individuals currently experiencing the influence of Venus Dasha may feel the effects of this transit more intensely. To understand how this transit may affect you based on your zodiac sign and the houses it transits, let's delve into those specifics. For Aries, Venus, the ruler of the second house of wealth, family, and speech, and the seventh house of relationships, marriage, and partnerships, will transit through Virgo, which is your sixth house. This transit is one of the most significant periods, as it not only brings Venus into its sign of debilitation but also activates the themes of service, disputes, health, work-life balance, and debts. The sixth house, being a malefic house, is where planets face challenges but also create opportunities for mastery and growth. Venus, a gentle planet of harmony, finds itself in a challenging environment here, suggesting that matters related to love, marriage, finances, and agreements may undergo testing or demand practical adjustments. The key lesson for Aries during this time will be learning to bring diplomacy, humility, and service-oriented thinking into all forms of relationships, personal or professional. Venus's debilitation in Virgo naturally brings an introspective tone to romantic and financial matters. This period can highlight imperfections, unmet expectations, or hidden discontent in your partnerships. Virgo's analytical energy tends to focus on details, often leading to overthinking or fault-finding in love. As Venus governs your seventh house, those in relationships or marriages may experience a phase of heightened criticism or a desire to fix their partner or the relationship itself. This tendency can create unnecessary tension if not handled with compassion. Rather than focusing on what's lacking, this is a period to embrace realistic expectations, appreciate effort, and work together toward improvement. Relationships may feel less romantic but more practical, offering a chance to serve each other's needs and rebuild understanding on a grounded foundation. For singles, this is not an ideal time for spontaneous love affairs, as Venus in the sixth house may attract connections that begin through work or service but carry a tone of responsibility rather than passion. Financially, Venus's connection to the second house means your attention may turn toward managing resources, paying off debts, or restructuring financial plans. The sixth house governs loans, competition, and service-based income, suggesting you may focus on clearing old dues or finding new ways to generate stable earnings through diligent effort. This is a practical phase where wealth may not expand easily but can be stabilized through discipline. Avoid impulsive spending or getting involved in unnecessary financial commitments. Since Venus is debilitated, luxury expenses may feel burdensome, and it's wiser to maintain simplicity. If engaged in professions related to beauty, art, or consulting, clients may be more demanding, requiring you to refine your service quality. Yet, this same critical eye can help you polish your craft and attract long-term rewards once Venus moves into Libra next month. The sign exchange, Parivartana Yoga, between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra brings a silver lining to this transit. Mercury, ruling Virgo, exchanges signs with Venus, ruling Libra, forming a mutual reinforcement that softens Venus's debilitation. This astrological bridge allows balance between heart and mind. You may find clarity through communication, especially in professional partnerships or marriage. Since Mercury is with Mars in Libra, the tone of discussions may be assertive, but diplomacy can prevail if handled wisely. This exchange supports negotiations, mediation, and settling disputes amicably, particularly those arising at the workplace. The combination of intellect, Mercury, and charm, Venus, will help you manage complex scenarios gracefully. It's also a powerful time to resolve lingering misunderstandings or renegotiate contracts or commitments, as both planets highlight fairness and analytical reasoning. Until October 17th, Venus will conjoin the Sun in Virgo. The Sun, representing ego, authority, and vitality, when conjunct Venus, the planet of relationships and compromise, can create inner friction between self-assertion and cooperation. In marriage or business alliances, power dynamics may surface. You may find yourself torn between the desire to lead and the need to harmonize. The closer this conjunction is by degree, the more pronounced the effects, where Venus's softer qualities, affection, patience, and diplomacy, may feel overshadowed by ego or self-focus. If not mindful, this can lead to heated arguments, especially with partners. If approached consciously, this conjunction can help clarify boundaries and illuminate what truly matters in your connections. The lesson here is humility, learning to temper pride with understanding. Saturn continues its retrograde motion in Pisces, from your 12th house, casting its aspect on Virgo. This aspect reinforces the themes of karmic accountability, service, and sacrifice. Saturn's influence may delay gratification, especially in romantic or financial pursuits, but it also offers the stability of hard-earned rewards. You may feel the need to step back from indulgence and focus on duty, health, or spiritual discipline. Some Aries individuals might experience temporary separations or emotional distance from partners due to work or health responsibilities. Saturn's gaze from the 12th to the 6th can also highlight the need to manage stress, avoid overwork, and prioritize healing, both physical and emotional. Adding a divine counterbalance, Jupiter enters Cancer, its sign of exaltation, on October 18th, activating your 4th house of emotional peace, home, and inner security. This transit is profoundly supportive, as Jupiter's exaltation brings nurturing energy and blessings in domestic life. Despite the tension Venus may cause in relationships, Jupiter's exalted position offers emotional intelligence, forgiveness, and the grace to reconcile differences. Family support, especially from elders or mother figures, may serve as an anchor during this period. Those working from home or pursuing education may find renewed inspiration and growth. As the month progresses, planetary shifts further change the narrative. The Sun enters Libra on October 17th, joining Mercury and Mars, where it becomes debilitated. While this emphasizes themes of compromise and justice in relationships, it also means both Venus and the Sun, the Caracas of love and authority, will simultaneously be debilitated. For Aries individuals, this underscores a need for humility, fairness, and patience in dealing with others. Avoid reacting impulsively to criticism or minor disputes. By late October, Mercury moves into Scorpio on the 24th, followed by Mars on the 27th, redirecting energy toward deeper analysis, shared resources, and transformation. As these planets leave Libra, the pressure of relationship negotiations may ease, allowing you to integrate lessons learned. Overall, the Venus transit through Virgo for Aries individuals is a period of refinement rather than indulgence. It's a time to work through practical realities in love, finances, and service. While challenges may surface through criticism, stress, or ego conflicts, these experiences are designed to cultivate humility, discernment, and maturity. By embracing Virgo's healing nature and channeling Venus's love into acts of service, compassion, and self-improvement, Aries individuals can transform difficulties into lasting growth. For Taurus, this Venus transit holds deep significance as Venus is your sign ruler and also the ruler of the 6th house of service, health, competition, and debts. When your sign ruler transits through Virgo, the 5th house, it activates themes connected to love, creativity, children, intelligence, and self-expression. Yet, because Virgo is the sign of Venus's debilitation, the planet's natural charm and grace get subdued, making this a time for introspection, humility, and learning to balance heart with intellect. The 5th house is a trine, and generally auspicious, but Venus's weakness here may test emotional contentment, romantic expectations, and creative flow. For Taurus people, this period can bring self-analysis in matters of love and relationships, critical evaluation of one's desires, and the need to let go of perfectionism in both emotional and creative areas. Venus in Virgo often brings a subtle internal struggle between heart and mind. The 5th house governs romance, pleasures, and speculative ventures, while Virgo seeks order, purity, and practicality. This combination can lead you to analyze emotions too deeply, losing spontaneity in the process. In love life, There may be moments of emotional detachment or dissatisfaction due to unrealistic expectations. Singles may feel attracted to people who are intelligent, helpful, or connected to service fields, yet may also feel unsure about pursuing such relationships. Those already in love may experience temporary misunderstandings caused by overanalysis or criticism, either from their side or their partners. It's important to understand that this is not a time for seeking idealism in love, but for developing patience, understanding, and emotional maturity. Venus in Virgo teaches that love must be expressed through acts of service, compassion, and small gestures rather than grand romantic displays. Since Venus also rules your 6th house, this transit can bring focus towards service, healing, and problem solving. The 5th house represents intelligence, and with the 6th lord sitting here, you may use your creative intellect to address practical challenges in your work or daily life. Those working in fields like health, education, counseling, or finance may find opportunities to refine skills and assist others. You may also need to watch tendencies towards self-criticism or burnout. The key is to channel Virgo's perfectionism into constructive creativity rather than frustration. For students, this is a period to review study habits and focus on analytical subjects. You may feel more drawn to structured learning, and your intellectual curiosity may deepen, though occasional self-doubt might arise. An important saving grace of this period is the Parivartana Yoga, sign exchange, between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra. Mercury, the lord of Virgo, resides in Libra, a Venus-ruled sign, forming a mutual reinforcement that softens Venus's debilitation. This exchange links your 1st and 2nd lords with the 5th and 6th houses, creating a strong intellectual synergy. It helps you communicate with greater charm, resolve misunderstandings through logic, and express affection through thoughtful words. In love, this exchange can bring balance. While you may analyze emotions, Mercury's Libra influence adds diplomacy and fairness. Professionally, this yoga enhances problem-solving ability, allowing you to handle complex tasks or mediate disputes effectively. It's also favorable for creative pursuits requiring precision. Writing, design, or teaching could benefit under this configuration. Until October 17th, Venus will conjunct the Sun in Virgo. The Sun, a fiery and authoritative planet, when combined with Venus, the planet of love and harmony, often triggers ego-related lessons in relationships. For Taurus individuals, this conjunction in the 5th house may bring clashes between ego and affection, particularly in romantic or parental relationships. You may feel torn between expressing love and maintaining control, or between creativity and self-criticism. This conjunction also has a bright side. It can bring visibility to your talents, enhance your charisma, and ignite a desire to express beauty in tangible, disciplined ways. If you are in creative professions, you may work hard to perfect your craft during this period, though recognition might come slightly later. Saturn, currently retrograde in Pisces, casts its aspect on Virgo, further emphasizing realism, patience, and humility. Saturn's aspect adds a karmic flavor, pushing you to take responsibility in love and creative pursuits. Romantic situations may feel heavy or delayed, compelling you to mature emotionally. This influence can also help you focus on long-term planning rather than instant gratification. If you are involved in speculative investments, exercise caution, as both Venus's debilitation and Saturn's gaze demand practicality and restraint. For those wishing to conceive children, this period may require patience and attention to health routines, as the 6th lord's involvement can indicate a need for medical or holistic balance before favorable results manifest. Amidst these challenges, a strong ray of hope appears with Jupiter's transit into Cancer, its exaltation sign, on October 18th. Jupiter's exaltation in your 3rd house empowers your communication, courage, and creative expression. It brings wisdom, inspiration, and emotional nourishment, helping counterbalance Venus's weakened position. You may receive guidance from teachers, mentors, or siblings that helps you navigate emotional complexity. Jupiter's strength can inspire you to turn self-criticism into self-awareness, guiding you to express love with warmth and generosity instead of anxiety or restraint. As the Sun moves into Libra on October 17th, joining Mercury and Mars, both Venus and Sun will then occupy debilitated signs, Venus in Virgo, Sun in Libra, signifying a collective period of adjustment and humility. For Taurus individuals, this emphasizes the need to harmonize self-expression with realism. Avoid reacting impulsively in love matters, as both ego and affection may feel uncertain. After October 24th, Mercury's move into Scorpio, your 7th house, and Mars's entry there on October 27th will gradually shift focus toward partnerships and deeper emotional bonds. This movement brings intensity and passion back into relationships, though initially, you may still need to manage emotional volatility. Health-wise, this period calls for mindfulness. The combination of Venus ruling the 6th and transiting the May 5th bring digestive sensitivity, hormonal imbalances, or stress-related issues if you push yourself too hard. Gentle routines, balanced diet, and relaxation through creative outlets will help maintain equilibrium. The Sun's conjunction may also bring temporary vitality fluctuations, so take care of physical stamina. Overall, Venus's transit through Virgo for Taurus individuals is a time of refinement and maturity. Though love and creativity may feel tested under Venus's debilitation, the lessons learned now will strengthen your emotional intelligence. This is not a time for idealistic expectations but for cultivating sincerity, service, and devotion. The Parivartana Yoga offers grace through balanced communication, while Jupiter's exaltation infuses optimism and insight. By embracing Virgo's healing energy and applying it to your heart, this transit can transform criticism into clarity, perfectionism into purpose, and self-doubt into steady confidence. For Gemini, Venus rules the 12th house of expenses, foreign connections, isolation, and spirituality, as well as the 5th house of love, creativity, children, and higher learning. When Venus transits through Virgo, the 4th house of home, mother, domestic comfort, vehicles, and inner peace, its results become layered and multidimensional. On one hand, Venus is debilitated in Virgo, which can reduce the natural ease and harmony Venus usually brings. On the other hand, Venus is also involved in a powerful web of planetary interactions during this period, forming a conjunction with the Sun in Virgo until October 17th, engaging in a sign exchange with Mercury in Libra, and being directly aspected by retrograde Saturn from Pisces. To add further complexity, Jupiter's entry into exaltation in Cancer on October 18th will bring an entirely new flow of positive energy into your life, expanding certain areas while also offering relief from earlier tensions. This transit is therefore a time of contrasts, where challenges around home, relationships, and emotional balance may arise, but equally, breakthroughs in personal life, family healing, and long-term foundations can also emerge. The debilitated state of Venus in your 4th house can initially stir some dissatisfaction. Matters related to your home environment may feel unsettled or less peaceful than you would prefer. There could be differences of opinion within the family, especially involving your mother or female relatives. Domestic responsibilities may feel heavy, or repairs and expenses on property or vehicles could unexpectedly arise. Since Venus is also the lord of your 12th house, these challenges may create expenses that are difficult to control. You may feel like comfort is slipping away despite your efforts to maintain it. The Sun's presence in Virgo alongside Venus until October 17th intensifies this sense of inner restlessness. The Sun represents authority and the fatherly figure, and when conjunct to debilitated Venus in the house of home, it can highlight differences of ego or opinion between family members, particularly between parents. For some Gemini individuals, this period may manifest as a need to balance both work and family demands, where your attention is pulled in multiple directions. The sign exchange between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra offers a balancing factor. Even though Venus is in debilitation, the exchange creates a mutual connection that softens the blow and allows the energies of both planets to remain active in their own domains. Mercury in Libra in your 5th house brings sharpness of intellect, creativity, and diplomacy in matters of love and relationships. This influence allows you to handle conflicts with logical reasoning, tact, and balanced communication. The 5th and 4th houses coming into connection suggest that love, children, or creative pursuits can directly impact your emotional security and home environment. For instance, discussions about education, children's future, or artistic endeavors may dominate domestic conversations. On the positive side, this period can bring intellectual stimulation into your private life. You may find joy in creative projects, studying at home, or even redecorating your space with a unique touch, even if it comes with some financial strain. Saturn aspects your 4th house directly from Pisces, adding seriousness and responsibility to matters of home and family. This may feel burdensome at times, but it also has the power to push you toward long-term stability. Saturn's retrograde motion indicates a revisiting of unfinished duties or past issues. Old family matters may resurface that require maturity and patience to resolve. While Venus would normally prefer harmony and beauty, Saturn insists on structure, discipline, and realism. Thus, this period may force you to balance pleasure with practicality. Saturn's aspect also brings karmic undertones. You may feel a sense of duty toward your parents, property, or domestic life, which cannot be ignored. Saturn's influence here is not purely restrictive. It may also encourage you to build stronger foundations for your future, especially as Jupiter's exaltation will soon provide relief and blessings. Jupiter's entry into Cancer on October 18th is one of the most significant shifts during this period, and for Gemini individuals, it brings tremendous positivity. Cancer is your second house of wealth, family, and speech, and Jupiter here is exalted, meaning its energy will manifest at the highest level. This placement will help ease financial worries that may have arisen due to Venus's 12th house rulership and its debilitation. You may experience growth in income, improvement in savings, and a general sense of prosperity within the family. Jupiter's benevolent aspect on the 8th, 10th, and 12th houses also creates opportunities for career advancement, sudden gains, and spiritual growth. In fact, Jupiter's strength will help counterbalance the instability caused by Venus in Virgo, offering stability and optimism. Your family life may see healing as Jupiter blesses your speech and ability to resolve conflicts. Any financial drains or domestic disputes that surfaced earlier in the month may begin to find constructive solutions after October 18th. The transition of the Sun into Libra on October 17th also marks a turning point. While the Sun becomes debilitated in Libra, its shift from Virgo eases the direct pressure it was exerting on Venus in the 4th house. When the Sun joins Mercury and Mars in Libra, it activates your 5th house of creativity, romance, and children. Although the Sun is in debilitation, the combined planetary energy in Libra emphasizes personal expression, artistic pursuits, and love-related matters. For those with children, this may be a time when your attention shifts from home-related issues to their education or future prospects. The creative spark of Sun-Mercury-Mars conjunction in Libra adds energy and drive to projects of self-expression, and while the Sun's debilitation may reduce confidence, the overall energy encourages you to take bold steps in personal endeavors. Finally, as Mercury enters Scorpio on October 24th and Mars follows on October 27th, the focus gradually moves into your 6th house of work, health, and daily routine. This can bring both challenges and opportunities. On one side, the 6th house can stir conflicts at work, health fluctuations, or an increase in daily responsibilities. On the other, the combination of Mercury's analytical strength and Mars's drive can help you confront challenges directly and make progress in professional matters. The sign exchange with Venus ends by then, so the earlier balancing support may reduce, but the exalted Jupiter in Cancer will provide sufficient guidance and protection. Overall, this Venus transit in Virgo for Gemini individuals brings a mixture of difficulties and hidden blessings. The debilitated Venus in the 4th house can create strain in the home environment, emotional dissatisfaction, and financial expenses. Yet, the mitigating factors, its exchange with Mercury, Saturn's discipline, and above all, Jupiter's exaltation in Cancer, ensure that these challenges eventually lead to growth, stability, and prosperity. The key theme for Gemini individuals during this time is balance. Between home and family responsibilities, between emotional desires and practical duties, and between temporary discomfort and long-term gain. By approaching situations with patience, tact, and a willingness to learn, you will emerge from this period with stronger foundations. For Cancer, Venus is a key planet as it governs the 11th house of gains, friendships, aspirations, and social networks, as well as the 4th house of home, comfort, property, mother, and emotional security. Its transit through Virgo, the 3rd house of communication, courage, siblings, and self-effort, becomes a significant phase that connects your mental space, personal initiative, and relationships with both domestic and social life. Venus in Virgo is in debilitation, which means it may struggle to express its natural charm, comfort, and harmony easily. Despite this, a number of important planetary configurations during this transit, such as the sign exchange, Parivartana Yoga, between Venus and Mercury, the conjunction of Venus with the Sun until October 17th, Saturn's aspect from Pisces, and the grand shift of Jupiter into exaltation in Cancer on October 18th, add depth and multiple layers to the experience. This period is one of transition, self-assertion, and inner awakening, where you'll be challenged to redefine how you communicate, what you value, and how you balance personal desires with emotional well-being. The debilitated Venus in your 3rd house can initially manifest as hesitation or overanalysis in communication. You may find yourself thinking twice before expressing feelings, especially in relationships or creative pursuits. Since Venus also rules your 4th house, this placement suggests that inner comfort and domestic happiness might depend heavily on your mindset during this phase. There could be a tendency to worry more than usual about family matters, emotional security, or home-related concerns. Siblings or neighbors may require your attention, and misunderstandings in communication could surface if not handled with care. Venus, being the ruler of the 11th house, indicates that some friction or emotional distance may appear in your social circle or among friends. The 3rd house governs courage, and with Venus here, your efforts toward fulfilling long-term dreams might feel slower or less rewarding at first. The key is not to lose heart. Virgo's analytical energy asks for planning, patience, and precision. The presence of the Sun in Virgo, forming a conjunction with Venus until October 17th, amplifies your focus on practical communication and goal setting. The Sun represents authority, vitality, and confidence, and when it joins a debilitated Venus, it can create a push-pull dynamic between your ego and relationships. You may find yourself asserting your opinions more strongly or wanting recognition for your efforts, which could create temporary friction in close partnerships or among siblings. Since the third house is also the house of skills and self-effort, you might feel motivated to learn something new, refine your talents, or become more visible through your ideas. Balancing humility with self-confidence will be key. Venus wants harmony, while the Sun seeks validation. If you manage to channel this energy constructively, this conjunction can help you showcase your creative communication skills or even attract attention through writing, media, or artistic work. A major blessing during this period is the sign exchange between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra. This pair of Artana Yoga creates a mutual support system between the two planets, allowing their energies to flow more harmoniously despite Venus's debilitation. Mercury in Libra, your fourth house, brings diplomacy and intellect to domestic affairs, helping smooth over potential conflicts. This exchange connects your third and fourth houses, blending communication with emotional grounding. You may find yourself discussing family matters more openly or expressing your feelings through thoughtful conversations. This is also an excellent period for planning short trips or reconnecting with siblings or childhood friends. You may engage in discussions about education, property, or creative ideas that bring both mental stimulation and emotional satisfaction. The exchange ensures that even if Venus feels uncomfortable in Virgo, its outcomes won't be entirely negative. There's balance through mutual cooperation. Saturn's retrograde aspect from Pisces onto Virgo further deepens this transit. Pisces is your ninth house of fortune, wisdom, and higher learning, and Saturn's gaze on your third house adds seriousness to your thoughts and efforts. This is a time when your communication will need to be precise and responsible. Saturn's influence may delay certain plans, but it also ensures that whatever you pursue now is built on a strong foundation. You may feel the weight of responsibilities towards siblings, or a need to work harder to achieve recognition for your skills. Saturn's retrograde motion implies revisiting old lessons, perhaps unfinished writings, unspoken words, or previously shelved projects could reappear now, asking for completion. While Venus prefers ease and beauty, Saturn demands realism, so this combination pushes you toward mature expression rather than superficial charm. One of the most transformative shifts happens on October 18th, when Jupiter moves into your sign Cancer, its exaltation position. This is an immense blessing. Jupiter's exaltation in your first house brings optimism, wisdom, spiritual clarity, and renewed self-confidence. It will cast its divine aspect on the 5th, 7th, and 9th houses, supporting creativity, relationships, and fortune. This influence counterbalances Venus's debilitation beautifully. You may start feeling more emotionally secure and optimistic about your personal path. Jupiter's strength will help you make wise choices in communication and relationships. Even if Venus's early transit brought doubt or dissatisfaction, Jupiter's presence in your sign restores faith, self-worth, and the capacity to see a bigger picture. It's an excellent time to strengthen family bonds, nurture your home life, and pursue long-term dreams with renewed vigor. After October 17th, as the Sun moves into Libra, its debilitation sign, and joins Mercury and Mars, the focus will shift to your fourth house. This could bring attention to matters of home, property, or emotional well-being. The Sun's debilitation may make you more introspective or emotionally sensitive, but the presence of Mercury and Mars ensures action and problem-solving energy. You might feel compelled to reorganize domestic affairs, initiate repairs, or address issues involving parents. Emotional dynamics at home may intensify temporarily, but your analytical approach and the wisdom of Jupiter will guide you toward constructive solutions. Overall, Venus's transit through Virgo for Cancer individuals is a journey of redefining your communication style, self-effort, and emotional connections. The debilitated Venus may create moments of self-doubt, overthinking, or strain in sibling and family relations, but the overall picture is one of growth and clarity. The sign exchange with Mercury ensures balance and opportunities to express your feelings with intelligence and diplomacy. Saturn's aspect brings discipline, and Jupiter's exaltation in your sign after October 18th marks a powerful turning point, ushering in expansion, optimism, and inner strength. You'll emerge from this period with a clearer sense of your voice, improved relationships, and greater emotional stability, ready to step into new phases of creative and personal fulfillment. For Leo, Venus holds rulership over two significant domains: your 10th house of career, authority, reputation, and karma, and your 3rd house of communication, initiative, courage, and self-effort. As Venus transits through Virgo, your 2nd house of wealth, speech, family, and values, it activates a period that blends professional ambitions with financial goals and personal values. Venus is debilitated in Virgo, which means its graceful energy may feel constrained, leading to temporary dissatisfaction in money matters, family harmony, or self-expression. Venus in Virgo in your 2nd house brings focus on material stability, wealth accumulation, and family relationships. Since Venus governs your 10th house, professional income and career matters become central themes during this period. Being debilitated, Venus may initially create some strain, perhaps a feeling that your efforts aren't being fully appreciated or that financial rewards aren't matching your hard work. You might experience fluctuations in cash flow or have to manage expenses carefully. Debilitated Venus can also influence your speech. Communication may become more critical or analytical than warm, which could lead to misunderstandings with loved ones or colleagues. As this house also represents family lineage and values, you may find yourself reassessing what truly matters to you, separating superficial desires from what brings genuine stability and peace. The Sun's presence in Virgo alongside Venus until October 17th adds an additional layer of energy and intensity. The Sun, as your sign ruler, is strong by rulership but can sometimes burn the softer qualities of Venus, causing ego clashes or strained communication within family or workplace dynamics. Since both are in your 2nd house, it's important to maintain humility in speech and diplomacy in negotiations. You may feel compelled to take charge of financial matters, family decisions, or career responsibilities, but ensure your leadership does not come across as dominating. This conjunction may also push you to reconsider your long-term goals, aligning them more closely with your values and integrity. On a positive note, the Sun-Venus union can enhance charm, magnetism, and visibility, making this a favorable period for public speaking, branding, or presenting ideas if managed with tact. The sign exchange, Parivartana Yoga, between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra brings a powerful balancing effect. Although Venus is debilitated, this exchange creates mutual support between the two planets. Mercury in Libra, your 3rd house, enhances communication, writing, and networking skills. It adds persuasive grace to your words and helps restore some of Venus's harmony. The 2nd and 3rd houses coming into exchange create a dynamic link between wealth and self-effort, indicating that financial gains during this period will arise through communication, negotiation, marketing, or business collaborations. You may be inclined toward learning new skills, enhancing your professional profile, or strengthening your social influence. The exchange ensures that while challenges appear in money or family life, practical solutions and intellectual clarity are available to overcome them. Saturn's retrograde aspect from Pisces to Virgo adds a serious undertone to this transit. Saturn is currently moving through your 8th house, a transformative zone associated with shared resources, secrets, and sudden changes. Its direct aspect on the 2nd house, where Venus transits, may slow financial growth, delay expected gains, or impose karmic lessons around wealth management. It may also bring responsibilities toward family or force you to handle long-pending issues related to inheritance, debts, or property. While this can feel heavy, Saturn's influence ultimately builds maturity and discipline, teaching you to plan finances meticulously and avoid impulsive decisions. It also ensures that any wealth accumulated now will be long-lasting, grounded in patience and effort. Emotionally, Saturn's gaze can create detachment within family circles, urging you to balance emotional expression with practicality. One of the most auspicious developments this month is Jupiter's entry into Cancer, its exaltation sign, on October 18th. For Leo individuals, this occurs in your 12th house of spirituality, foreign lands, isolation, and expenses. Exalted Jupiter here brings a profound sense of inner growth, wisdom, and divine protection. Though it highlights expenditure, those expenses are likely to be purposeful, on spiritual pursuits, foreign travels, or charitable deeds. Jupiter's exalted aspect on your 4th, 6th, and 8th houses ensures that you navigate domestic, health, and transformation-related matters with greater clarity and grace. Most importantly, Jupiter's wisdom counterbalances Venus's debilitation, ensuring that despite temporary dissatisfaction, your long-term financial and emotional prosperity is safeguarded. You may become more introspective, valuing peace of mind over material accumulation. Jupiter in the 12th can also enhance your intuitive decision-making, an invaluable asset while Venus tests your practical judgment. The shift of the Sun into Libra on October 17th changes the energy significantly. Libra, your 3rd house, is the sign of diplomacy, strategy, and partnerships. Though the Sun is debilitated here, its presence alongside Mercury and Mars creates a vibrant, active environment for communication and planning. This period favors creative writing, negotiations, or marketing campaigns, but also demands humility in interactions. Debilitated Sun asks you to listen as much as you speak. Since Mercury and Mars will also be present, you'll possess courage and clarity, though tempers may flare if you feel misunderstood. This trio energizes your third house of efforts, so success now depends on teamwork, perseverance, and refined communication. Meanwhile, Ketu's presence in your first house continues to deepen self-awareness and detachment from superficial recognition. It reminds you to focus on inner fulfillment rather than seeking validation. Paired with Jupiter's exaltation, this fosters spiritual elevation, a time when you may question material attachments and seek meaning beyond success and wealth. Rahu's position in Aquarius, your seventh house, simultaneously amplifies external interactions and partnerships, making balance between self and others a key theme. Overall, Venus's transit through Virgo for Leo individuals emphasizes refinement in speech, discipline in finances, and humility in relationships. Though debilitated, Venus's effects are softened by the sign exchange with Mercury, providing intellectual clarity and opportunities to turn challenges into growth. The Sun-Venus conjunction until mid-October heightens self-awareness, while Saturn's aspect enforces financial responsibility. Jupiter's exaltation marks a turning point, offering spiritual protection, wisdom, and grace amidst worldly fluctuations. As the month unfolds, the lessons of patience, tact, and grounded ambition will transform temporary struggles into long-term rewards, helping you emerge with stronger values, clearer purpose, and deeper emotional strength. For Virgo, Venus governs two highly auspicious houses, the ninth house of luck, fortune, higher wisdom, and dharma, and the second house of family, wealth, values, and speech. Its transit through your first house, your own sign Virgo, from October 9th to November 2nd brings a strong focus on self-development, personal charm, and how you present yourself to the world. Since Venus is debilitated in Virgo, this transit begins on a note of refinement, humility, and self-assessment rather than grand expression. Venus here teaches you the art of grace through simplicity and beauty through service. It asks you to shift attention inward, towards self-worth, daily habits, and the balance between perfectionism and acceptance. With Sun also transiting Virgo until October 17th, a conjunction forms between your sign ruler Mercury and Venus's energies, creating a blend of intellect and aesthetic awareness but also occasional inner conflict between practicality and emotion. Venus's debilitation in your first house can bring sensitivity around appearance, self-esteem, or relationships. As Venus rules both the second and ninth houses, its transit directly influences wealth accumulation, speech, and the flow of fortune. Debilitated Venus may initially create self-doubt, hesitation in expressing affection, or a sense of dissatisfaction in personal or relational life. You might overanalyze relationships, seeking perfection in partners or feeling critical of yourself. Virgo's analytical nature magnifies Venus's desire for balance, which can make you overly cautious in love and friendship. This period also presents a powerful opportunity for personal healing. Virgo, being a sign of service and health, allows Venus to express love through helping others, refining skills, and performing acts of kindness. Those engaged in counseling, wellness, healing, arts, or financial services may find their talents being sharpened. Though Venus is weak by dignity, it's strong in purpose, teaching humility, service, and devotion as the true forms of love. The Sun-Venus conjunction in Virgo until October 17th brings mixed energies. The Sun represents your vitality, ego, and self-confidence, while Venus governs love, creativity, and social grace. When they unite in your first house, it can enhance your charisma, magnetism, and visibility. You may attract attention or admiration. This brightness can come with a cost. Sun's fiery nature may affect Venus, creating inner restlessness or ego clashes in relationships. You may find yourself torn between personal ambition and the need for harmony. The key lies in maintaining modesty and avoiding the urge to control or perfect others. The Sun's light can illuminate self-awareness, helping you see where pride or rigidity has limited connection. This period asks you to practice compassion and diplomacy in communication, especially since Venus governs your second house of speech. Use this transit to refine your tone, soften your delivery, and build bridges rather than walls. A significant blessing during this period is the sign exchange, Parivartana Yoga, between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra. Though Venus is debilitated, this mutual reception creates a strong intellectual and artistic synergy. It links your first and second houses with your ninth and 10th through rulership, forming a Dharma-Artha connection, purpose, and prosperity. This yoga balances Venus's weakness, granting intelligence, adaptability, and eloquence. It also connects self-expression, first house, with income and values, second house, meaning your ideas, communication, or personal image may directly influence your financial progress. You might gain opportunities through writing, consulting, design, marketing, or any field combining intellect and aesthetics. This exchange enhances your ability to negotiate, teach, or influence others through refined speech. Since Mercury is conjunct Mars in Libra and later the Sun joins them after October 17th, you'll need to manage assertiveness. Too much analytical or critical speech could create friction in partnerships or professional discussions. Saturn's retrograde aspect from Pisces adds another layer of maturity to this transit. As Saturn retrogrades in your 7th house of partnerships and open enemies, its direct aspect on your 1st house compels you to reevaluate commitments, responsibilities, and interpersonal dynamics. Saturn's influence is sobering. It reminds you that charm and words must be matched by sincerity and endurance. This aspect may bring cautiousness in relationships or a sense of detachment in love life. Yet, it also deepens emotional resilience and clarifies boundaries. Saturn's gaze ensures you act with integrity, demanding that you embody patience and realism in all one-on-one dealings. Professionally, it strengthens your discipline and sense of accountability, though progress may feel gradual. It's a time to embrace structure, not resist it. The lessons Saturn brings to your 1st house now will define long-term success. Another transformative event occurs mid-month when Jupiter, the natural benefic in your 4th and 7th lord, enters Cancer, its exaltation sign, on October 18th. For Virgo individuals, this shift to your 11th house of gains, achievements, and social circles is immensely auspicious. Exalted Jupiter here expands your network, brings blessings from mentors, and opens doors for long-term prosperity. Its harmonious aspect on your 3rd, 5th, and 7th houses enhances communication, creative intelligence, and relational harmony. Jupiter's divine influence counterbalances Venus's temporary weakness, infusing optimism, faith, and broader perspective into your personal development. You may reconnect with friends, receive guidance from a teacher, or align with causes that uplift others. Spiritually, Jupiter's exaltation reminds you that grace and gratitude amplify fortune. Even if Venus's transit tests patience, Jupiter ensures divine timing supports you. On October 17th, the Sun exits Virgo and enters Libra, its debilitation sign, joining Mercury and Mars in your 2nd house. This shift redirects focus from self-image to family, wealth, and communication. Although debilitated, the Sun's presence here illuminates family dynamics, financial planning, and value systems. The combination of Mercury and Mars adds sharp intellect and persuasive power, but could also trigger debates or verbal intensity. Since Venus rules this house, its earlier lessons in humility and service will now guide your communication style. Be mindful of tone. Diplomacy brings gains, while criticism could lead to misunderstandings. This planetary mix encourages you to align speech with ethics, ensuring integrity in financial or familial decisions. Through all of this, the overarching theme for Virgo individuals during Venus's transit is self-refinement. With Venus in your 1st house, life invites you to beautify your inner world, even when external appearances feel tested. You're learning to value authenticity over perfection, substance over surface charm. While Venus's debilitation may temporarily cloud satisfaction in love or finances, the sign exchange with Mercury ensures that intelligence, adaptability, and thoughtful communication restore equilibrium. Saturn's aspect matures your approach to relationships, while Jupiter's exaltation infuses faith and divine support. By embracing service, humility, and self-acceptance, you'll transform vulnerability into strength, emerging wiser, more compassionate, and aligned with your higher purpose. For Libra, Venus is your sign ruler and also rules the 8th house of transformation, secrets, occult, and sudden events. Its transit through Virgo, your 12th house of expenditure, foreign lands, isolation, rest, and spiritual retreat, from October 9th to November 2nd marks a deeply introspective and karmic phase. As your sign ruler moves through debilitation, the focus shifts toward inner healing, release, and understanding the subtler layers of life. This is a period when the universe invites you to rest, recalibrate, and reconnect with your spiritual essence. Venus in Virgo brings refinement, humility, and analytical discernment to your subconscious world, yet being debilitated, it can create self-doubt, emotional fatigue, or uncertainty in personal relationships. You may find yourself needing solitude or preferring silence over social engagement. The 12th house magnifies the spiritual side of Venus, encouraging selfless love, compassion, and charitable deeds. But it also warns against overindulgence, escapism, or emotional withdrawal. Since Venus is both your first and eighth lord, this transit becomes a powerful time of psychological transformation. The eighth lord in the 12th house often brings karmic cleansing. Unresolved emotional patterns may resurface for closure. You may feel drawn to healing modalities, meditation, dream analysis, or even past life regression. The mind might oscillate between clarity and confusion, as Virgo's analytical energy mixes with the mysticism of the 12th house. Spiritually, this is a beautiful period to surrender control, trust divine timing, and release rigid expectations. On a mundane level, Venus debilitated here can create hidden expenses, unexpected financial obligations, or unnecessary indulgence in luxury. Be mindful of spending patterns. Charity is favored, but escapist tendencies through shopping or pleasure could strain finances. Health-wise, you may need extra rest. The 12th house governs sleep and vitality, so prioritizing rest and emotional release is essential. With the Sun transiting Virgo until October 17th, a Sun-Venus conjunction forms in your 12th house. The Sun represents ego, vitality, and authority, while Venus symbolizes love, harmony, and relationships. Their conjunction in a house of isolation can stir deep emotional awareness. You may feel the need to retreat from external noise to process personal feelings or spiritual lessons. In relationships, you may feel unseen or unappreciated, not because of others' neglect but due to self-critique. The Sun in Virgo also represents service and perfectionism, so you may channel affection through acts of help rather than overt displays of emotion. This conjunction encourages selfless love, forgiveness, and quiet strength. Avoid clinging to control or demanding validation. Instead, allow space for spiritual purification and release of karmic baggage. A major blessing balancing Venus's debilitation is the Parivartana Yoga, sign exchange, between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra. Mercury, being your 9th and 12th lord, sits in your 1st house, strengthening intellect, diplomacy, and charm. This mutual exchange creates a bridge between your inner and outer worlds, linking self-expression, 1st house, with the subconscious, 12th house. It empowers you to articulate emotions you previously kept hidden, express your spiritual beliefs, or transform solitude into creativity. Though Venus is weak in dignity, this yoga grants adaptability, intelligence, and intuitive problem-solving. Mercury in Libra enhances your social grace and mental clarity, while Venus in Virgo refines discernment. Together, they teach that peace is found through balance, balancing analysis with surrender, logic with love, self-interest with compassion. Professionally, this yoga may favor those in counseling, healing, arts, or spirituality, careers requiring emotional intelligence and aesthetic sensibility. Meanwhile, Mercury conjoins Mars in Libra, energizing your personality and communication. This alignment gives courage, assertiveness, and persuasive speech, but also a tendency toward overanalysis or impatience. As Sun enters Libra, its debilitation sign, on October 17th, your 1st house becomes host to Mercury, Mars, and Sunday. This trio can amplify confidence and leadership qualities, though you must manage ego clashes or restlessness. Venus, your chart ruler, from the 12th house, encourages humility. Thus, true success during this phase arises through teamwork and tact, not dominance. Sun's debilitation in your sign may temporarily challenge self-image, making you question direction or identity. Yet, with Mercury's guidance and Mars's drive, you can rebuild self-assurance through mindful communication and deliberate action. October's planetary mix pushes you to redefine what power means, shifting from external validation toward inner alignment. Saturn's retrograde transit in Pisces casts its aspect onto Virgo, your 12th house. This combination amplifies introspection, karmic reflection, and a need for spiritual discipline. Saturn retrograde demands maturity, responsibility, and self-accountability, especially concerning health, habits, and inner peace. You may face the consequences of neglecting rest, emotional well-being, or unfinished spiritual lessons. Saturn's gaze from the 6th house, work, service, routine, onto the 12th, retreat, release, isolation, reminds you to balance duty with downtime. This aspect can bring feelings of restriction or isolation, yet it also strengthens endurance. Embrace structure in spiritual practices. Meditation, journaling, or consistent therapy can yield breakthroughs. Avoid escapism. Saturn rewards steady inner work, not temporary relief. The most auspicious event of this period unfolds on October 18th, when Jupiter, the great benefic, enters Cancer, its exaltation sign, activating your 10th house of career, reputation, and purpose. This is a tremendous shift for Libra individuals. Exalted Jupiter in the 10th brings recognition, professional growth, and divine protection in your public life. It infuses optimism and faith into your long-term vision, counteracting the temporary uncertainty Venus may cause. Professionally, opportunities expand, particularly in education, consulting, government, or humanitarian work. You may feel inspired to align your career with deeper values, to serve, teach, or uplift others. Even as Venus navigates introspection in your 12th house, Jupiter ensures outer life continues progressing steadily. From October 17th onward, as the Sun enters Libra and Venus continues in Virgo, the focus gradually shifts from internal healing to self-expression. Mercury's transition into Scorpio on October 24th followed by Mars on October 27th activates your second house of wealth, speech, and family. This phase supports financial planning and assertive communication. Since Venus governs your 8th house, you may still need to navigate financial complexities or shared resource matters carefully. The insights gained during Venus's stay in your 12th, awareness of hidden desires, karmic tendencies, and emotional patterns, will now help you make wiser decisions about value, security, and boundaries. Overall, Venus's transit in Virgo is a profound journey of surrender and spiritual refinement for Libra individuals. As your sign ruler moves through the 12th house, you're called to detach from surface-level gratification and dive into your soul's deeper needs. Debilitated Venus may challenge comfort zones, but the lessons it brings are transformative. You're learning that self-worth doesn't depend on external approval, that love thrives in forgiveness, and that beauty lies in humility. The sign exchange with Mercury grants grace in communication and the ability to translate solitude into wisdom. By embracing rest, compassion, and spiritual service, you can transform this quiet, reflective period into a foundation for renewed strength, peace, and creative inspiration. For Scorpio, Venus governs the 7th house of partnerships and marriage as well as the 12th house of expenses, isolation, and spirituality. Its transit through Virgo, your 11th house of gains, networks, aspirations, and social circles, from October 9th to November 2nd is a highly significant period that weaves together themes of relationships, finances, and ambitions. The 11th house is one of the strongest in terms of material fulfillment, as it represents long-term goals, recognition, and income from profession. Venus being debilitated in Virgo brings mixed results, some delays or dissatisfaction in achieving desires, but also opportunities for practical growth and refinement in your approach to social and financial matters. Since Venus is also the natural significator of love and partnerships, its debilitation in the May 11th make you question certain relationships, especially within your social networks. But the transit overall holds the potential to bring karmic lessons that lead to greater maturity and alignment with your long-term aspirations. The initial phase of this transit coincides with Venus conjunct the Sun in Virgo until October 17th. The Sun represents authority, vitality, and ego, while Venus represents harmony, relationships, and beauty. In the 11th house, this conjunction highlights leadership within groups, influence in social settings, and recognition for your creative or diplomatic qualities. Because Venus is closer to the Sun's rays, you may feel underappreciated in your efforts, or personal connections might seem strained. Your friendships and social circles could feel demanding, as if you are giving more than you are receiving. Ego clashes may occur in teamwork or group dynamics. Yet, this period is not devoid of blessings. It pushes you to identify who truly values you and what groups are worth your energy. The Sun amplifies your visibility in collective settings, so if you are engaged in social projects, networking, or professional organizations, your presence will be noticed. The key lies in handling matters with humility rather than seeking validation. One of the most powerful features of this period is the sign exchange, Parivartana Yoga, between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra. Mercury, as the ruler of your 8th and 11th houses, sits in the 12th house in Libra, forming a mutual exchange with Venus in the 11th. This creates a karmic link between gains, networks, hidden transformations, and the area of isolation or foreign connections. Practically, this means gains may arise from unexpected or hidden sources, such as investments, inheritance, or collaborations with people abroad. Spiritual groups, occult studies, or meditation circles may bring new opportunities or friendships. At the same time, this exchange may blur the line between friendships and hidden desires. Discretion is advised in social dealings to avoid complications. Still, this yoga can help you balance financial gains with spiritual growth, teaching you to harmonize material ambition with values. Adding another layer, Mercury is in conjunction with Mars and Libra during this period, energizing your 12th house. This combination enhances drive and initiative in spiritual practices, foreign travel, or research-oriented work. It can also stir restlessness or hidden conflicts in partnerships. The 12th house deals with both solitude and expenditure, so Mars with Mercury here may push you toward bold decisions in private life or sudden spending on luxuries, travel, or spiritual retreats. On October 17th, the Sun enters Libra, its debilitation sign, joining Mercury and Mars in your 12th house. This trio creates intensity around hidden matters, secrets, subconscious patterns, and relationships behind the scenes. Since Venus, your 7th lord, remains in Virgo, issues around trust, transparency, and balance in relationships may come to the forefront. It is important to be mindful of boundaries, both financial and emotional, during this phase. The aspect of retrograde Saturn from Pisces onto Virgo adds another important dimension. Saturn, placed in your 5th house of creativity, romance, and children, casts its aspect on your 11th house, where Venus is transiting. Saturn's retrograde gaze adds seriousness, delays, and karmic testing to your networks and gains. Friends may test your loyalty, or ambitions may require greater patience. This influence ensures that the connections and opportunities you build now are long-lasting and meaningful rather than superficial. Saturn teaches the value of discipline in pursuing desires, reminding you that real gains come through steady effort, not shortcuts. This is particularly relevant for financial matters, as the 11th house also represents income. Saturn's influence urges you to budget carefully, avoid risky investments, and commit to sustainable long-term strategies. Amid these testing energies, the major blessing of the month comes on October 18th, when Jupiter, the great benefic, enters Cancer, its exaltation sign. For Scorpio individuals, Jupiter rules the 2nd house of wealth and speech as well as the 5th house of intelligence, creativity, and past life merits. Its exalted transit through Cancer activates your 9th house of higher wisdom, fortune, and dharma. This is a transformative shift that enhances luck, spiritual insight, and moral clarity. Jupiter in the 9th supports your faith in divine timing, balances the material restlessness Venus may bring, and opens doors to new learning or travel opportunities. Its benefic aspect on your 1st, 3rd, and 5th houses strengthens confidence, communication, and creative expression. Professionally, Jupiter's exaltation ensures support from mentors, guidance in education, and fortunate opportunities that align with your higher calling. Even if Venus creates momentary confusion in gains and social settings, Jupiter ensures that the bigger picture remains aligned with growth and expansion. As Venus continues its journey through Virgo, the emphasis remains on reassessing your goals and desires. You may notice that certain friendships no longer serve your growth, or that some ambitions feel outdated. Venus debilitated in the 11th makes you more analytical in relationships, less swayed by flattery, and more discerning about who truly belongs in your inner circle. This can be a phase of pruning, letting go of connections that drain you, while focusing on those that uplift and align with your higher vision. For business people, gains may be steady but require effort. Sudden windfalls are less likely, yet collaborations with like-minded people can plant seeds for future success. For those in creative or artistic professions, Venus here can still bring recognition, though it may come with self-doubt or delays. By October 24th, Mercury enters Scorpio, your 1st house, followed by Mars entering Scorpio on October 27th. This shifts the energy powerfully in your favor. With Mercury and Mars in your 1st house, you become more assertive, strategic, and communicative. The earlier introspective tone begins to give way to action, confidence, and clarity. Venus, your 7th lord, continues in the 11th, suggesting that partnerships may begin to support your ambitions, or that gains come through spouse or partners. Overall, Venus's transit through Virgo in your 11th house is a balancing act for Scorpio individuals. On one hand, it challenges you to be more discerning in friendships, more cautious in financial matters, and more realistic in your ambitions. On the other, it opens doors for spiritual and karmic lessons that prepare you for greater alignment with your true purpose. The Sun-Venus conjunction highlights visibility and ego in group dynamics. The Mercury-Venus exchange ensures that even debilitated Venus has strength, and Saturn's aspect guarantees that your gains will be meaningful if pursued with discipline. Above all, Jupiter's exaltation provides immense support, ensuring that despite temporary dissatisfaction or delays, your higher destiny is unfolding positively. This is a time to refine your dreams, align your social circles with your values, and trust that the lessons of Venus in Virgo are guiding you toward authentic fulfillment. For Sagittarius, Venus governs your 6th house of service, health, competition, and daily routine, as well as your 11th house of gains, ambitions, and social networks. Its transit through Virgo, your 10th house of career, profession, and public reputation, from October 9th to November 2nd, brings a period of practical evaluation, responsibility, and refinement in professional life. The 10th house is a powerful kendra that determines one's karma, status, and direction in the outer world. With Venus here, your focus naturally turns toward relationships at work, collaborations, and recognition for your creative or diplomatic skills. Since Venus is debilitated in Virgo, this phase may bring moments of self-doubt, perfectionism, or dissatisfaction with current achievements. You may strive for ideal results or appreciation in your career, but Virgo's critical nature could make you feel that your efforts go unnoticed. Yet, this transit also blesses you with the ability to reorganize, analyze, and improve your work life, setting the foundation for sustainable growth. Being the lord of your 6th and 11th houses, Venus carries the dual energies of service and success. When it transits the 10th, you may be called to balance duty with desire, or effort with expectation. The 6th house connection may bring competition or workplace politics, urging you to adopt tact and diplomacy. You may find yourself comparing your progress with peers or striving harder to prove your worth. Debilitated Venus here can sometimes create tension with authority figures or supervisors, or cause a sense of underappreciation despite sincere work. Because Virgo is an earthy and service-oriented sign, focusing on quality, humility, and consistent effort will yield rewards in due time. Professionally, this is a powerful time to perfect your craft, gain practical skills, and take on responsibility that elevates your reputation in the long term. Until October 17th, Venus will be conjunct the Sun in Virgo. The Sun represents leadership, vitality, and ego, while Venus symbolizes harmony, relationships, and beauty. Their conjunction in your 10th house highlights visibility, public roles, and recognition, though it may also bring friction between personal values and external validation. The Sun conjunct Venus during this period, often making one overly self-critical or hungry for acknowledgement. You may desire appreciation for your contributions but feel overshadowed by authority or circumstance. Still, the Sun-Venus combination in the 10th is a strong placement for creativity and leadership, especially in fields related to design, public relations, administration, or counseling. It calls you to integrate heart and mind in your professional approach, to lead with grace and balance, even amidst criticism or imperfection. Avoid taking feedback personally, instead, see it as a tool for refinement and mastery. There will be a pair of Artana Yoga, sign exchange, between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra. Mercury, ruling your 7th and 10th houses, is placed in the 11th house of gains, forming a mutual exchange with Venus. This yoga creates a dynamic link between profession, 10th, networks, 11th, and partnerships, 7th. It amplifies your ability to communicate, collaborate, and negotiate in professional settings. Though Venus is debilitated, the exchange grants it functional strength, allowing practical intelligence to overcome temporary insecurities. You may receive guidance from experienced colleagues, connect with influential people, or form beneficial alliances that enhance your reputation. Mercury in Libra refines diplomacy and charm, helping you navigate complex work environments with intellect and fairness. This combination also supports projects involving teamwork, contracts, or technology, anything that requires both strategy and aesthetics. Meanwhile, Mercury's conjunction with Mars in Libra energizes your 11th house of ambitions and friendships. This alignment brings boldness, initiative, and drive to chase long-term goals. It can also lead to assertive or competitive interactions in social or professional groups. You may feel compelled to take leadership in collaborative ventures or advocate for your vision with passion. Just be cautious of impatience or argumentativeness. Mars with Mercury can sharpen the tongue. As the Sun enters Libra on October 17th, joining Mars and Mercury in your 11th, your focus shifts more strongly toward networking, collective projects, and the realization of dreams. The presence of debilitated Sun here may initially make you question your role in groups or cause power struggles within teams, but Venus from the 10th supports reconciliation and harmony when handled with humility. Another important influence is retrograde Saturn in Pisces, casting its aspect on Virgo. Saturn, positioned in your 4th house of emotional stability and foundations, looks toward your 10th house of karma. This aspect intensifies responsibility and accountability in career matters. Retrograde Saturn often brings introspection. It asks you to reflect on your professional path, evaluate past decisions, and strengthen your work ethic. Its gaze on Venus in Virgo can slow recognition, making progress feel delayed, but it ensures that what you build now is lasting. This is a time for consistency, not shortcuts. The lesson here is patience and structure. Saturn will reward dedication, not haste. For some, this aspect could also bring concerns related to work-life balance. You may feel torn between career demands and personal or domestic peace. Establishing routines that nurture both will be essential. Amidst these earthy and disciplined energies, the upcoming shift of Jupiter brings great relief and optimism. On October 18th, Jupiter, your chart ruler and the planet of expansion and wisdom, enters Cancer, its exaltation sign. From your 8th house, Jupiter's exaltation supports profound transformation, healing, and research. It opens doors to deep insights, spiritual growth, and hidden opportunities. Though the 8th house is often seen as challenging, exalted Jupiter here brings protection through faith, mentorship, and grace during transitions. Its aspects to your 12th, 2nd, and 4th houses enhances emotional peace, wealth accumulation, and intuitive understanding. This shift helps you view professional and personal challenges from a higher perspective, fostering acceptance and trust in divine timing. Even if Venus's transit feels demanding, Jupiter's strength ensures underlying blessings and eventual breakthroughs. In relationships, since Venus rules your 6th and 11th houses, this transit can bring both opportunities and lessons. Workplace connections may become significant. Partnerships can arise through professional or social circles. Due to Venus's debilitation, be mindful of miscommunication or unrealistic expectations. You may need to clarify roles, responsibilities, or shared ambitions with others. Single individuals might meet someone through work or networking, but patience is required before commitment. Overall, Venus's transit through Virgo in your 10th house is a period of disciplined artistry, blending devotion with detail, ambition with humility. Though debilitated, Venus here teaches valuable lessons in service, grace under pressure, and the refinement of purpose. The Sun's conjunction amplifies visibility, the Mercury-Venus exchange brings resourceful thinking, and Saturn's aspect ensures lasting achievement through perseverance. Jupiter's exaltation, meanwhile, acts as a guardian angel, reminding you that every delay is divine preparation. Use this transit to focus on quality over quantity, substance over appearance, and authentic growth over quick success. For Capricorn, Venus, the ruler of your 5th and 10th houses, will be transiting through Virgo, your 9th house of higher wisdom, fortune, dharma, long-distance travel, and blessings from mentors and gurus. This is a significant transit for you because Venus governs 2 of the most important houses in your chart, one connected to your intelligence, creativity, romance, and children, 5th house, and the other connected to your career, status, and recognition, 10th house. When such a planet moves through the 9th house, it puts the spotlight on your destiny, your higher learning, and the opportunities that life places in your path. Venus is in its debilitated position in Virgo, which can initially feel restrictive or challenging, especially when it comes to love, career, and fortune-related matters. Venus in Virgo represents a period where matters of love, creativity, and career success may feel tied to your ability to be practical, disciplined, and methodical. Since Venus is debilitated here, you may initially feel dissatisfied in these areas, as if the results you desire are taking too long or not manifesting as you had envisioned. Relationships may feel overly analytical, with you or your partner focusing too much on small flaws instead of appreciating the bigger picture. When it comes to your career, recognition may come, but only after persistent effort and adjustments. Yet, because Venus is ruling your 10th house and traveling through the 9th, this transit still points toward professional opportunities connected with travel, foreign connections, higher education, or guidance from mentors. If you are in fields like law, teaching, spiritual guidance, media, or international business, this period can create long-lasting developments, though they may begin with initial obstacles. Adding more depth to this is the fact that Venus will remain in conjunction with the Sun in Virgo until October 17th. Sun represents authority, father figures, and recognition, and when it comes together with Venus in Virgo, it places your attention on career direction and personal beliefs. You may find yourself questioning whether your current professional path aligns with your deeper values and principles. Since both planets are connected to authority and recognition, this conjunction could bring opportunities through influential people or government-related matters. Because Venus is debilitated and Sun is strong in Virgo, you may feel overshadowed or overlooked at times. There could be ego clashes with superiors or situations where your hard work is not fully acknowledged. Patience and humility are key here, because after October 17th, the dynamics shift when Sun moves into Libra, its debilitated sign. That period will lessen the authoritative pressure and open doors for more balanced cooperation. The sign exchange between Mercury in Libra and Venus in Virgo adds another layer of complexity. Mercury rules communication, intellect, and strategy, while Venus rules harmony, beauty, and relationships. Their exchange of signs, Parivartana Yoga, creates a powerful link between your 9th and 10th houses. This means your career, recognition, and destiny are directly tied to communication, collaborations, and intellectual pursuits during this transit. Even though Venus is debilitated, the sign exchange strengthens its influence, providing you with the mental sharpness and diplomatic skills to navigate challenges. If you are involved in negotiations, contracts, public speaking, or intellectual debates, this period will demand your ability to present your ideas with clarity and charm. Though it may not come effortlessly, your persistent approach will win others over. Mercury is also conjunct Mars in Libra during this time, and later joined by the Sun after October 17th. This makes your 10th house matters charged with ambition, arguments, and intellectual competition. Career matters will require tact and control over your words, because Mars' fiery energy combined with Mercury's sharp intellect can lead to impulsive speech, disputes, or misunderstandings. This same energy, if harnessed carefully, can give you the courage to assert yourself and take bold steps in your professional life. The period after October 24th, when Mercury enters Scorpio and later Mars follows on October 27th, will deepen your focus and determination. You may become more strategic, secretive, and research-oriented, which will help you make long-term professional gains. Saturn retrograding in Pisces is another key influence. Saturn is aspecting Virgo, where Venus and Sun are transiting, meaning it directly impacts your 9th house of Dharma and fortune. This Saturnian aspect may feel like a slowing down of progress or delays in travel, higher education, or blessings from mentors. You may feel as though your faith is being tested or your efforts are not yielding immediate results. Saturn's retrograde aspect is also a reminder to build your future on discipline, patience, and persistence. Saturn will push you to reevaluate your belief systems, mentors, and goals, ensuring they are aligned with long-term stability. If you put in consistent effort, Saturn's influence can reward you in unexpected ways later on. One of the most significant shifts comes on October 18th, when Jupiter moves into Cancer, its exaltation sign, and your 7th house of partnerships. This is a profoundly positive development for Capricorn individuals, as it brings blessings, wisdom, and expansion in relationships, both personal and professional. Jupiter in exaltation enhances your ability to connect with supportive partners, advisors, and mentors. For those married, this can bring greater harmony and blessings in your relationship. For those seeking partnerships or collaborations, this transit can open doors to alliances that help you grow in both business and personal life. With Jupiter in the 7th and Venus transiting the 9th, fortune comes through relationships, partnerships, and foreign connections, though initial challenges may test your patience. Financially, this transit may not be ideal for speculative ventures or risky investments, especially abroad or in unfamiliar areas. However, gains can come through intellectual pursuits, teaching, consulting, or international connections, especially after Jupiter's move to Cancer. The key is to act from wisdom, not greed. Overall, Venus transit through Virgo in October 2025 will be a period of balancing challenges and opportunities for Capricorn individuals. While Venus in debilitation may initially bring struggles in relationships, creativity, and career satisfaction, the broader planetary alignments ensure that these challenges lead to significant growth. The sign exchange with Mercury empowers your communication and career direction, while the Sun-Venus conjunction highlights your ability to align personal values with professional goals. Saturn's aspect will demand patience, but Jupiter's exaltation after October 18th brings divine blessings in partnerships and alliances. If you stay grounded, humble, and willing to adapt, this period can help you lay the foundation for long-term professional success and deeper personal fulfillment. For Aquarius, Venus, the ruler of your 4th and 9th houses, will be transiting through Virgo, your 8th house, during October 2025. This is a deeply transformative and introspective phase that touches some of the most private corners of your life. The 8th house is traditionally associated with sudden events, hidden knowledge, emotional transformation, joint finances, inheritance, and occult or spiritual growth. When a planet like Venus, which governs harmony, comfort, fortune, and emotional security, moves through this house in a debilitated state, it can initially bring periods of emotional fluctuation, uncertainty, or introspection. Because Venus is a natural benefic and is exchanging signs with Mercury, the overall energy of this transit will be more constructive than chaotic. It's a time where healing, self-awareness, and inner evolution can occur through deep reflection, especially in matters of love, faith, family, and fortune. Venus in Virgo is a placement that emphasizes practicality, discernment, and analysis in relationships and emotional matters. But because Venus is debilitated here, it can feel somewhat uncomfortable expressing affection or receiving love openly. For Aquarius, This might manifest as a desire for emotional depth but difficulty in fully trusting others. There can be situations involving emotional vulnerability, perhaps related to family or faith, where you are forced to let go of old attachments or patterns. Since Venus rules your 4th house, home, peace of mind, comfort, and 9th house, fortune, belief systems, mentors, its journey through the May 8th bring internal shifts regarding your foundations and philosophical outlook. You may reconsider your core beliefs, your connection with family, or your comfort zones. This is also a transit that can awaken your interest in mystical subjects, astrology, psychology, or healing. You may discover hidden truths about yourself or others that change your understanding of life's deeper meaning. Throughout this transit, Venus will remain conjunct the Sun until October 17th. Sun represents authority, the father, vitality, and self-confidence. Its conjunction with Venus in Virgo brings light to issues of love, belief, and destiny, but may also highlight ego clashes or feelings of being underappreciated in relationships or professional life. Because the Sun tends to overpower Venus when conjunct, you might feel your emotional needs are overshadowed by responsibilities or ego-based interactions. This conjunction can also bring opportunities to heal and strengthen your inner sense of worth by aligning your values with your purpose. Since both planets occupy the 8th house, this could be a period where truths come to light, particularly about finances, inheritance, or emotional attachments. You may have to navigate situations that require courage, humility, and honesty. The sign exchange, Parivartana Yoga, between Mercury in Libra and Venus in Virgo is one of the most important aspects of this transit. Mercury, the lord of your 5th and 8th houses, sits in Libra, your 9th house, while Venus, lord of your 4th and 9th, sits in the 8th. This exchange creates a deep intellectual and emotional link between your faith, fortune, hidden matters, and transformation. It suggests that through analytical thinking, communication, and emotional intelligence, you can turn what seems like a challenging period into one of significant personal growth. This yoga softens Venus's debilitation and allows you to benefit from hidden opportunities. You might receive insights or guidance from a mentor, a teacher, or even through introspection that helps you redefine your life philosophy. Spiritually, this can be a period of awakening, where karmic lessons from the past resurface for closure. Meanwhile, Mercury is conjunct Mars in Libra during this period, creating an energetic blend of intellect and drive in your 9th house of higher wisdom and destiny. This can make you more assertive about your beliefs and ambitions. Since Mars can be impulsive, you must ensure your communication remains diplomatic. Later, when the Sun joins Mercury and Mars in Libra after October 17th, there could be situations involving authority figures, mentors, or foreign connections that test your patience. Yet, these interactions could also bring valuable lessons that help shape your future direction. By October 24th, Mercury's move into Scorpio, followed by Mars on October 27th, shifts your focus toward career, ambition, and leadership, making the latter part of the month more dynamic and goal-oriented. Saturn's retrograde in Pisces during this time is another major influence, as Saturn is your ruling planet and aspects Virgo directly. Saturn's aspect on Venus in the 8th house intensifies the transformative nature of this transit. You may experience delays, karmic lessons, or emotional tests related to inheritance, shared finances, or family matters. Saturn's retrograde aspect often asks for maturity, patience, and realism. It may bring situations where you must restructure your emotional boundaries, reassess your values, or take responsibility for long-term stability. The aspect can also guide you towards spiritual maturity, as Saturn's gaze on Venus in the 8th often leads to detachment from superficial comforts and a deeper pursuit of lasting peace. The most uplifting shift comes with Jupiter's entry into Cancer, its exaltation sign, on October 18th. Jupiter moves into your 6th house, bringing wisdom, healing, and problem-solving abilities. This is an excellent development, as Jupiter's exaltation helps you overcome daily challenges, conflicts, or health issues with grace and intelligence. Since Jupiter is the natural significator of wisdom and divine grace, its presence in the 6th can protect you from enemies and guide you toward a disciplined and service-oriented approach. This transit also harmonizes with Venus's 9th lordship, meaning that your faith and fortune grow through acts of service, humility, and self-improvement. Rahu's transit through Aquarius in your 1st house and Ketu's presence in Leo in your 7th house continue to add complexity to your relationships and self-identity. With Rahu amplifying your personality, desires, and ambitions, and Ketu detaching you from partnerships, this axis suggests that you are redefining how you relate to others and yourself. The Venus transit in the 8th supports this internal metamorphosis, encouraging you to heal emotional wounds and embrace authenticity in relationships. There may be endings or turning points in partnerships that feel fated or karmic, but they serve your long-term evolution. Overall, Venus's transit through Virgo marks a deeply introspective and transformative time for Aquarius individuals. As the ruler of your 4th and 9th houses, Venus brings focus to emotional healing, faith, and fortune. But in the 8th house, it demands that you face hidden fears and attachments before bestowing blessings. The debilitation of Venus may bring initial discomfort or emotional distance, yet the sign exchange with Mercury ensures that insight, intelligence, and communication will guide you through. The Sun's conjunction illuminates hidden areas, while Saturn's aspect deepens lessons of patience and maturity. Jupiter's exaltation from October 18th brings relief and spiritual protection, helping you rebuild faith in life's process. Though this transit can feel intense, it is designed to help you emerge wiser, more grounded, and aligned with your deeper truth. For Pisces, Venus, the planet of harmony, relationships, luxury, and creativity, rules your 3rd and 8th houses and will be transiting through Virgo, your 7th house of marriage, partnerships, and public life. This transit carries deep karmic significance because Venus, the natural significator of love and unions, will be in its sign of debilitation, a position that humbles the planet's usual grace and comfort. Virgo is also a sign of service, discernment, and refinement, meaning this period brings opportunities to reassess your approach to relationships, communication, and cooperation. Because Venus is your 8th lord moving through the 7th, this is a powerful time for transformation within partnerships, romantic, professional, or contractual. Some relationships may be tested, revealing areas that need healing, compromise, or maturity. Others may evolve through honest conversations and shared problem-solving. Venus in Virgo often struggles with idealism and practicality in love. For Pisces individuals, who are naturally romantic, empathetic, and idealistic, this transit can bring a more realistic lens to matters of the heart. You may become aware of where you've been overly self-sacrificing or idealistic in relationships. The 7th house governs not only marriage but also all one-to-one collaborations, business partnerships, legal alliances, or client relationships, so you may find yourself needing to set clearer boundaries or manage expectations more practically. Because Venus is debilitated, some dissatisfaction or emotional coolness may arise, yet, this is not meant to discourage love but to refine it. Virgo energy invites you to examine whether your relationships are built on mutual respect, service, and shared values rather than fantasy or dependency. The presence of the Sun in Virgo until October 17th adds a layer of complexity, as Sun-Venus conjunctions often highlight ego dynamics in relationships. The Sun represents self-expression, pride, and authority, while Venus seeks harmony and neutrality. When they unite, especially in Virgo, there can be a temporary clash between self-assertion and the need for cooperation. You or your partner may feel that one person's needs are dominating the dynamic, or subtle tensions may emerge around recognition and appreciation. This conjunction can also shine light on areas that need attention, particularly unspoken issues in relationships. By embracing humility and open dialogue, this period can become one of healing rather than conflict. Because the Sun rules your 6th house, its conjunction with Venus in the 7th also brings themes of service, problem-solving, and teamwork into focus. Some Pisces individuals may find themselves collaborating with partners to resolve mutual challenges, legal matters, or shared responsibilities. The sign exchange, Parivartana Yoga, between Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra is an important redeeming feature of this transit. Mercury, the lord of your 4th and 7th houses, is in Libra, your 8th house, while Venus occupies Mercury's sign, Virgo. This exchange strengthens both planets and creates a mutual support system that helps balance logic and love. It suggests that though Venus is debilitated, reason and communication will help resolve emotional complexities. You may find that analyzing issues rather than reacting emotionally leads to breakthroughs in understanding. This yoga also supports partnerships that involve learning, counseling, or shared intellectual pursuits. For those in business, negotiations, contracts, and strategic alliances can benefit from clear communication and fairness. For married individuals, honest and practical dialogue can help re-establish harmony. Mercury's conjunction with Mars in Libra adds an assertive and passionate undertone to the energy. Mars energizes Mercury's intellectual and communicative abilities, which may lead to more direct conversations. You should guard against impulsive or harsh speech, especially in sensitive relationship matters. When the Sun joins Mercury and Mars in Libra after October 17, attention may shift toward deeper emotional sharing, shared finances, or karmic exchanges with partners. The 8th house activity suggests that you may face revelations or transformative experiences through your relationships, perhaps discussing trust, vulnerability, or long-term plans. By the time Mercury enters Scorpio on October 24th and Mars follows on October 27th, your attention may turn toward higher learning, travel, or legal formalities, helping you move forward from the introspective tone of mid-October. Saturn's retrograde in Pisces continues to be one of the defining influences of 2025, and during this Venus transit, Saturn aspects Virgo directly from your first house. This aspect places pressure on your partnerships, asking you to evaluate them realistically and responsibly. Saturn in your sign brings maturity, discipline, and self-awareness, while its gaze on Venus and Virgo tests the strength of your connections. You may feel a temporary sense of isolation or emotional distance, but this is Saturn's way of teaching endurance and patience. Relationships that are superficial or imbalanced may struggle, while those based on mutual respect and commitment will deepen. Saturn's influence can also bring karmic relationships into your life, connections that carry lessons from the past or require closure. This is not a time for escapism or idealization but for grounding yourself in reality and addressing unresolved issues directly. Adding to the astrological landscape, Jupiter enters Cancer, its sign of exaltation, on October 18th, moving into your 5th house. This is a highly auspicious shift for Pisces individuals, as Jupiter, your ruling planet, brings blessings, creativity, and wisdom to matters of love, children, and inspiration. While Venus in Virgo tests relationships, Jupiter's exaltation provides emotional support, optimism, and divine guidance. This harmonious energy encourages forgiveness, compassion, and renewed faith in love. It's a reminder that growth often comes through challenges, and while Venus may highlight flaws, Jupiter inspires hope and healing. You may receive positive news related to children, creative projects, or romantic opportunities. Spiritually, this combination of Venus in Virgo and Jupiter in Cancer can help you integrate practical love with emotional generosity. Overall, Venus's transit through Virgo in your 7th house brings a period of relationship reevaluation, karmic transformation, and practical adjustments. While Venus's debilitation can bring temporary dissatisfaction or emotional distance, the sign exchange with Mercury offers a lifeline of understanding and diplomacy. The Sun-Venus conjunction highlights the need for balanced ego and cooperation, while Saturn's aspect demands maturity and patience. With Jupiter exalted in Cancer, divine grace and optimism guide you toward healing and renewal. Partnerships, both personal and professional, will benefit from clear communication, humility, and service-mindedness. This is a time to let go of illusions and embrace authentic love rooted in respect and emotional intelligence. By the end of this transit, you may find that your relationships have been refined, your heart strengthened, and your understanding of partnership transformed at the deepest level. As we conclude this episode, please keep in mind that these insights are based on the Sidereal Zodiac system used in Vedic Astrology, which differs from the tropical system by approximately 24 degrees. These are general predictions, and outcomes will vary depending on your individual birth chart. The influence of transits is deeply shaped by your ongoing dasha periods and the specific placement of planets in your natal chart. What may be a time of progress for one person could mark a period of reflection or challenge for another. This is why it's essential to interpret transits within the context of your unique chart. If you're seeking a more personalized understanding of how current transits may impact you, or if you have specific questions about your birth chart, feel free to reach out to us. If you found this content helpful, please consider liking the video, sharing it with others who may benefit, and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. Thank you for watching. We look forward to continuing to share deeper astrological insights with you. Until next time, stay aware, keep learning, and keep shining bright.